Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you guys had a great day today and I hope you had a great trading session. This is the daily trading update video for the February 23rd session. If you missed that live stream, I'll make sure I link that up in the iCards. As you guys can see, I was negative today, but not too much. It was just $140 per account, which I'm absolutely good with. When we get into the charts, I'll talk about some of those trades. But as you can see towards the bottom of the screen, I had a gross loss of $315. When you add in the $107 of commissions, that equals a net loss of $422. I took 9 trades today like I did yesterday. However, today it was 2 wins, 3 losses, and 4 break evens. One of the trades that I took was an invalid trade, but it happened to be a break even. I caught it ahead of time. And then one of the losses, really 2 of the 3 losses, I'm kind of feeling like by the time I finish my back testing, those are going to be invalid trades. So honestly, I am not too worried. I don't feel bad about how today ended up. And honestly, when I calculated what my profit and loss was for the entire week minus Tuesday, because we're not going to count Tuesday. Tuesday was a day that I now realize I can't trade since it was the day after a holiday. So if we just look at Wednesday to today, on the first the first 50K account, I actually gained $76 in that account. Then on the 25K account, I gained $71. And then on the second 50K account, I actually lost $56. There was an extra loss in that particular account, which now looking back, that was an invalid trade after I looked at my cheat sheet earlier today. So honestly, I feel great, especially because remember this weekend, the only reason I did the back testing is because I started to see the progress that I was making over the last like 3 weeks with the adjustments I needed to make to my strategy since I changed the Renko settings. So after seeing that last week, I only lost $300 per account. Went ahead and did the back testing, and if we subtract Tuesday, I did gain some money on the accounts minus the one account, and that does not even take into account that there are still trades that I'm really iffy on because I didn't finish the back test, and I'll finish it later on today. But the fact that I still have some invalid trades in there's a lot of trades that I sat out of on Wednesday, I think it was. So overall, a great week, and I'm happy going into next week. So let's go ahead and get into the charts, and let's talk about the trades today. So the very first trade that I took here was a break even because when I got into this trade, the zigzag did not attach to the first bar, which means that there's indecision because my zigzag is based off of volume. So because there was indecision, I went ahead and I got out of it. It would have broken even anyway, so I was good there. This is the trade that I ended up getting out of. This was the trade that I said that it was invalid. I realized shortly after getting into it, it did end up, I think this one was one that would have broken even. I can't even remember, honestly, because I didn't write it down. It didn't matter. It was invalid anyway. All right, so this is the trade where I think that by the time I finish my back testing, I'm going to stay away from this particular volume pattern, but I'm not completely sure yet, but I'm almost certain. So that particular trade was a loss, but it's probably something I'm going to end up being able to avoid in the future. So this is the first trade that I was able to win off of. Excuse me. Now, this trade right here, there were 3 trades actually that I sat out of. I actually sat out of a lot of trades, but there were 3 that I was kind of iffy. I felt like it was going to be valid, but not quite sure. Again, I have to finish the back test. This one actually would have ended up being a break even, so it wasn't too big of a deal. One of the things that I am liking is that besides Wednesday I did sit out of a lot of wins just because I didn't finish the back test yet, so I still was pretty uncomfortable. But almost all of the wins, or almost all of the trades that I sat out of today, were actually going to lose. Besides the 3 that I actually would have taken because it does go with my rules, but whatever. So this trade right here was the next loss that I took. And with this particular loss, I feel like by the time I feel like by the time I'm done with my back testing, this is going to be a trade that I don't take because this is a bigger pullback. My overall trend bias was a downtrend. It was a bigger pullback to my major level, and it was at the major resistance level. I don't think I want to take trades at my major resistance and support levels. Yeah, so far, at least not with divergence, I don't think I want to. So that was a loss there. Next trade was actually a win. And that one like pretty much took off as soon as I got into it. And we did get an orange order on that trade, I remember, and I was a little worried because I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be in this trade anymore. It said it took profit, but it's still there. So yeah. All right, so next trade here, I broke even on this one because my minor trend changed from an uptrend to a downtrend, and then the buyer pressure came in shortly after. This trade would have, I think, took profit, or I think it would have still broken even no matter what. I can't really remember, but either way, that is one setup where I definitely have to get out of if opposite pressure comes in. Now, this trade here, I don't think I could have avoided this particular loss because so far in my backtest data, anytime this sets up the way that it sets up, I would take it for the most part. It was in between my major and minor levels. The only thing is that typically when I'm in between my levels, I look for different volume patterns than if it's outside of it. Now, had I use the same patterns as if it's outside of my levels, then I wouldn't have taken this trade. So probably by the time I finish back testing, I will see if that was a valid trade or not. But as you guys can see, right after I was stopped out, it went straight to my take profit. So I'm cool with that. All right, so now we're pushing to after 10 o'clock. We had this trade that I sat out of that at the moment, I probably would have broken even when it hit my major level back here, but based on my backtest data, I don't have to. So if I would have taken the trade in the moment, I would have broken even, but probably by next week, that's something that I actually would have stayed in, and that would have been a full win if I didn't break even at my major level. All right, so next trade here, this is the actual trade that I took, and I got out of this one because there was no zigzag attached by bar 2 or in bar 2, so I went ahead and I got out of that trade, and that one actually would have stopped me out because it came one tick, I believe, from moving my stop loss to break even. And then this trade right here, I actually had the pending order in, but I removed the pending order, and it was because there was no zigzag attached to the entry bar. So that trade actually would have lost had I stayed in it, and that's that. So let's go ahead and get into the accounts so I can show you the trailing drawdown. Again, minus Tuesday, great week. I basically am ending up with more drawdown than what I had after Tuesday's bloodbath, so I'm happy about that. Going into next week, I will still continue to trade these three accounts, and then I have one of the 25K accounts that renewed on the 17th. That one will be coming back on Monday, so I'll be trading 4 accounts next week, which I'm pretty excited about because as I'm moving into next week, just like any other week, I'm feeling better and better about my strategy. I feel like ever since I switched to volume-based trading in December, like the end of December, basically early January, and then switching my Renko settings on January 25th, I feel like since January 25th, I've made strides in the right direction, and I feel like the patterns are way more consistent than what I was looking at on a 20 and 2 chart, and absolutely way more consistent than when I was not trading volume based trading. So yeah, we'll see what it looks like going into next week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Please don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time for the live stream. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday.